Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Okay, surprise! A Shingeki no Kyojin video! Yeah! I knew this was gonna happen. They were gonna come out with this. This was already announced, but I found it very funny it came out now. Because it was scheduled to happen in, the winter. Yeah, the winter lineup. They had posted it in the winter lineup, this OVA of Attack on Titan. Now, what this is they find a journal of this girl, Elise, and she was part of the Survey Corps, and she had a journal. I think it was the 34th expedition. That's really what they said. And she was part of that expedition, and she died like a year ago. And the whole premise... Now, here's the problem with this episode. The problem is, what happens in this episode of this OVA has huge implications later on in the manga. Like, massive. Just massive. So I will try to be as spoiler-free as humanly possible. Now, what's really good about this episode that I thought was great, I think Hockey mentioned it to me. The reason why he likes that, well, one of the reasons he would read it, Attack on Titan, is because of Hanji. And that's good, because this episode was really focused on Hanji. And pretty much it's this expedition that they have, and like half the episode was kind of filler, and the other half was the actual what happened. Because this is like a snippet. It's in the manga. It's like a snippet side story that happens. And essentially what happens is, Erwin, and everybody else with Hanji and Levi and the whole gang, they go on this expedition, and they encounter, outside the walls and everything, that territory, and what happens is Hanji wants to get a test subject, and she's like pleading to Erwin and shit, and Erwin's saying, no, for the last time, I'm not going to sacrifice men to try to, and then this was a good episode. I thought it was done well. The animation was spot on. I liked how they did that scene with the when we get what happened to this Survey Corps member, with her journal, what happened with her. The animation there was done spot on, and I thought it was done very well. Give this a 4 out of 5. I give this a 4 out of 5. I think this was done very well, very good. And basically, Hanji goes off on her own, kind of. Because basically what happens is this random abnormal Titan shows up, 6-meter class, and Hanji, she's galloping when she sees it and on a horse, and it's chasing her. At one point, it had me dying laughing. She's chasing it. I was like, Hanji, man, she wants that Titan B. Yeah, she's all about that. I'll tell you right now, she's all about it. She's like headstrong on that shit. There's also another scene in this episode I thought was interesting. She was choking that guy who bits on his tongue all the time, Amuro. But yeah, she's chasing it. At one point, it goes to this area, where there's this tree. And he's like just standing in front of this tree. It's like, he's just headbutting the tree. And she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And she's about to take out her thing and tack it. And the animation was spot on here too, because it was, even though it was kind of canon, it was kind of filler here and there. What ends on happening is Amuro shows up. He shows up, and he almost gets eaten. And then Levi shows up and just kills it. And she's upset about it. And Levi grabs her. That was funny. That was a funny part. Grabs her, like, shaking her, telling her, you shit-faced glasses, shit glasses or something, he says. And he made a joke there that he did not find funny at all. And what they noticed at because the tree he was hitting furiously at, they see something in the tree. One of the squad members, that girl with the orange hair, she points to it, and Levy goes towards it, and it's a corpse of a Survey Corps member, and they find a journal. And pretty much that's when we go into the flashback of this journal of this girl who was part of the Survey Corps. Now, here's the thing. I did say this OVA has implications later on in the manga. Not going to tell you. I'm not going to spoil, please. I won't do that. But basically what happens is she's running away from her squad. Because her squad of the Survey Corps that she was part of, this girl, this woman, gets annihilated. You know, gets completely devastated. Just annihilated, devastated, forget about it. Let me just go ahead and get her name, because her name, I kind of, butchered, and I just want to make sure I'm, get her name down pat. Yeah, her name is, Ilse. And basically, Ilse, she's going through the forest and everything. She's running away, she's just going to go north. And she's writing in her journal everything that she's doing. Every tidbit. So Ilse, she goes to, through this forest and encounters this one Titan. And this Titan is breathing heavy and he's face. And this is the implication I was talking about with the manga. He says to her, Ymir's people. And she's writing this down, And then he says, Ymir's Sama greetings. Now, everyone who reads the manga knows what that, doesn't know what it means, but they know who he's referencing. Obviously, I can't say it in this episode review because people who are going to watch this video are going to be spoiled. So, unfortunately, I can't say that. So, basically, he tells that to her, and she's shocked, and she's crying, and she's like, and she starts asking him questions, and then she gets really freaking angry, and she asks him, why do you eat us? Why do you eat us? And then this scene was done so well. I was like, grabs his face, and he starts bleeding and shit, and he chases after her, and he basically bites her off. And he's, dumbfounded and everything. So, and then he basically takes her body and puts it in the tree and leaves it there. Now, when I actually read this in the manga, it was done differently, in a different way. Not to this extent. They obviously had to extend it to make it into an episode, but this was done well. And then after that scene, we get some interesting feedback with Hanji, and she's sending a letter to Erwin and everything to initiate more Titan retrievals, capturing more of Titans. And she goes to her parents' house, gives her Survey Corps uniform, and they're like crying and shit. And this was done well. I thought this OVA was done very good. And then basically we have this scene where she meets up with my guy, and she grabs him again, and she apologizes and everything. And there's this scene when he drops, and he's like, and he hits his head. That was so funny. But this episode was really focused on Hanji and this journal. And then after that, we see them walking away, and basically what ends up happening is Hanji creates a new device for them to use to capture Titans, and so on and so forth. Now, I will say this was done well. I liked how they did this. Now, if anyone in the comments section wants to like ask me questions about this episode specifically, you're free to. Now, I don't want to say what that Titan meant, because then that's spoiling beyond belief. Oh, by the way, I will say this. The anime is not that far off with revealing what that Titan meant. Give or take. But it's still, even today, into the manga, a mystery of what that Titan means. Ymir, Sama's... Yeah, it's crazy. But this was done well. I liked how they did this. I liked the exposure of Hanji. I liked Hanji in this episode. Even in the manga, it was very, very well. So, yeah, I'll go around. So, yeah, awesome shit, awesome shit. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Bonkai 922, 4 out of 5. Tell me what you guys think. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.